boys and girls. Your old pal Stevie Coyle here. Sneaking up on the camera from far away. Hello! Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Your old pal Stevie Coyle here. Webcasting to all you webcastaways from Mighty Fine Guitars in pastoral Lafayette, California. 20 miles due east and only slightly north of San Francisco, California. And let me make sure that I'm not talking to a slab of glass for no good reason. I don't mind talking to a slab of glass for good reasons, but looks like we're live and late. Good heavens, very late today. Yes. Sorry about that. Things got busy. I got a slew of business to do this morning, and I'll wait and see if some folks show up. We got 2 folks in the room right now. Hi there, whoever you are, 3. Come on in. There's snacks. Make yourself at home. Beer in the fridge. One of these days, there'll be beer in the fridge for all of us. Hey, Mike Nepper, how are you, man? Good to see you. Doing some picking, riding some motorcycles. Very good. And we got 4 people in. Righto. All right, then. Do you know I can adjust that picture a little bit, can't I? This is the thing about doing these by myself. Excuse me, pardon me. Don't want to violate your personal space here or anything, but I suspect that might be a slightly better picture. There we are. It is a very slightly better picture. It only gets so good. Well, thanks for tuning in. This is the Friday noontime. It's the Friday afternoon. I'm going to change the name. The official name change today, kids. The Friday noontime webcast is no longer, and hasn't been actually for a long time, but it's now the Friday lunchtime webcast. We use a little more brightness here, I think. Come on up. There we go. I think that might be a little better. Maybe a little bit there too. All right then. Well, if there's anything in particular you want to talk about today, let me know. I'll stay in touch with the notices as they come by best I can. Let me make sure the sounds are happening. That's usually the optimal sort of microphone setting. I wanted to feature today a guitar by Laurent Brondel. And we'll be featuring that one. And if there's time, and if you got the energy, I might feature an older Tony Yamamoto guitar as well. But if there's anything in the shop that you've seen online that you'd like me to feature, just let me know and I'll see if I can accommodate today. Tuning back into your comments and questions. Yeah, Mike, what kind of beer do you like? Something with some color to it, with some flavor to it. Not that one from Colorado that's the brew for people who don't like beer. Or PBR. How did PBR get popular again? That ain't right. I'm all for retro. I am retro, as are a lot of you. But Pabst Blue Ribbon was never good beer. That's kind of the sweepings. They brewed up the sweepings on the brewery floor. That's what I have to say about that. A man of strong opinions. And all of them are mine. Hey, Aaron. Smoke away. What you got? If you got them, smoke them. Hey. Hi, Darby Sue. All the way from Sweden. What the hell? Nice to see you. Terrific. All right. Mark Thompson is watching. Hey, Jen. Nice to see you. Terrific. Good. Jennifer Martin is a fearsome guitar player. If you don't know her stuff, tune her in. Check her out here on the Facebooks. And on YouTube, I assume. Seems like everybody's got at least something up there on the YouTubes. Don't know. Cindy Bazan is in. Very good. Hey, Dave Munoz. Dave, did you just retire? Was that what we saw? You've given up your post as an internet plumber? Sorry, folks, I'm catching up with some of my old pals here. Hope you don't mind. But since we're smoking and drinking, let's make it a virtual pub. And there's Dan Payne. All right. Well, I think I'll press on here with a little bit of guitar ismsness. I haven't even tuned this one up yet, but this is a fearsome guitar made of wenge wood. This is Laurent Brondel, Brondel, Laurent Brondel, wenge back and sides, and a Carpathian top. You'd swear for all the world it was Adirondack, but it ain't. It's Carpathian, Transylvanian wood, all the way from Eastern Europe. And like I said, I haven't even tuned it up, haven't played it in a while, but this is one of those guitars that's lurking around the shop that just needs to go. And because it needs to get played. It's a crime that this guitar is lurking around in this shop, getting not played a lot, as you can tell. Apologies to those of you with perfect pitch. But if you're here and you're watching a guy play a guitar, you know that no guitar is ever perfectly in pitch everywhere. And that's a conversation for, I was going to say another day, that's a conversation for several other days. You know, it's wenge wood, which is really fun to say. Wenge. Wee, wenge. But, come on, Bessie. It sounds like Brazilian to me. It's got that same kind of chocolatey, oh God, it's so hard to talk about sound. It's got that mid-range thing that Brazilian does. This wenge does it too. And it's pretty much an OM size. I didn't mention what size it was. It's very OM-y. And I'll haul up the specs here in just a second to give you the full rundown. All the guitarists out there going, just a little bit more. Come on, Coyle, you can do it, you can do it. Really even. It's got that richness. Like I say, there are only two terms that really natively apply to sound, and those are louder and softer. Everything else is borrowed from some other realm: wine tasting, food, temperature. How do you talk about sound? Whatever Brazilian does to the bass of most guitars, it's doing to all the string. The wenge here is doing to all of the strings. Some of that mid-range low richness that permeates a lot of Brazilian guitars is extending up into the treble strings here. It's great to not play a guitar for a long time, play it and just get an instant hit off it. Oh yeah, this one does that, and this one does that. It sort of sounds Brazilian, even in the treble realms. Hey, Bob Oswald, nice to see you. Who else is on here? There's Sharon March, Sharon and Raoul, excellent. Oh, fearful. No, Jen. You're a wonderful guitarist, and I'll stand by that. Really comfy neck. Now, comfy to me may not be comfy to you. This one's got kind of a closed C sort of shape to it. The profile of it, 1 3/4 across there. And it feels like it's a little on the wide side of 1 3/4. 1 3/4, you know, how does that ever get measured? Across the actual nut itself, or across the widest part of the camber of the neck? Don't know. 1 3/4 is bigger, it's wider than 1 11/16. This we know. But what it actually means and where that actually gets measured and how it feels in your hand, 1 3/4 inch nut guitar feels different from another because of the profile of the neck and where that measurement actually takes place. Very round sounds. Ooh. I'm always on about the vowel sounds that guitars make. This one, instead of kind of an A or an E, you know, kind of a flat sort of narrow sound, think Taylor guitars. Sorry, Taylor fans, but they all seem to have that kind of A-E sharpness, brightness to them. This guitar does not have that, if that's a point of reference for you. I'm not slagging Taylor guitars. A lot of people love them. A lot of people eat, you know, Brussels sprouts. So your mileage may vary, as they say. But instead of having that broad, flat kind of back of the throat kind of sound that I feel a lot of Taylor guitars have, and folks love that, more power to you. This one has the rounder, kind of more operatic sort of sound, if we're going to go for vocal comparisons. Sort of lifting the soft palate, and you get more of that in there. God, is that a good comparison? Is that a good demonstration at all? I think not. But this one has richness. Everybody when they play a Brazilian guitar, says, "Ooh, it sounds so rich." That's right, because those overtones are stacking up on each other and reinforcing each other in ways that are pleasing to the ear. Everything in the shop has drifted south quite severely, as you'd suspect, in warm weather, and without having been played, sometimes in months. Some of these guitars are selling. Thank you for asking. Guitars are actually selling. People are buying them right off the website. I may have told you the story of how a year ago I decided to sell some logo t-shirts off the website, so I set up the whole credit card thing for the t-shirts and all that stuff, and I thought, well, I'm going to do that for the CDs too. And yes, I have just a couple CDs left. A couple boxes this big of CDs left. So if you need one, let me know. Discount prices. We're blowing them out, folks. I must be crazy. Crazy Stevie's Guitar Emporium. A year ago, I set up the website to take credit cards and payments from PayPal for logo t-shirts. What I hadn't realized was the whole website went live that way. And after I'd done one of my little Monday night shows on Facebook, I got an email saying, "You've got a $5,050 payment in PayPal." And I thought, oh man, some poor gal wanted to pay me $5 in PayPal, and their finger got stuck on the 5 or the 0 or something. And so I emailed the guy right away and said, "Oh man, I think maybe your finger got stuck on the thing." And he said, "No, I bought a guitar off your website, dummy." Holy smokes, did you really? Sure enough, he had. So yes, guitars are selling off the website. People make appointments and come down here. I meet them out front. I bring them guitars. They play them. If they love them, they buy one. If they don't, they walk away, and no harm, no foul. And those guitars go in a pile where they can kind of demicrobify for 3 days. Easy as pie. And we're all suited up. You know, we got the hazmat suits on and the surgical gloves, and we wear the masks and the whole schmear. Perfectly safe. As safe as we can be. So yes, guitars are selling. And this is one that really needs to go. The owner of this guitar agrees with me. So he has discounted the price $500. It was $5,500. It's now $5,000. And between you and me and the wall, there might be a little more turkey to be talked in there. There really might. So talk to me about this guitar if you want. And you know what I do? This is a way to hear guitars, but I do Facebook, we can do a Facebook session as well. We can do Skype, we can do Zoom, we can do FaceTime, anything you like. Do kind of a private audition of guitars. And then if something really strikes your fancy, I ship it to you. Now you pay for the shipping, for sure. If you love the guitar, you pay for the guitar. If you don't, you pay for shipping both ways. And that's it. I got lots of boxes back here. I'm stocked up. I've got a source, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. And I send guitars out all the time. Sometimes they come back, but most of the times they stay out there and make people very happy, because that's all these boxes are good for, is for making people happy. And this, if there was ever a time to really dig into those old New Year's resolutions from decades past, I think it's probably now. That's what I think. And I'm glad you asked. Have a little sip of water here. And let me catch up with your kind messages here. Hey, Don from Kansas. Nice to see you. Hey, there's Klaus. Very good. David Hawkins. Ollie Newhouse. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Hi, Ollie. Americans. Looks like Newhouse. I'm going, Newhouse. And, Mary Aldecushion is on. Very good. Ethan Winston. Greetings from Protect American River Canyons, Auburn, California. Very good. Do you know Mike Nepper, who's also on here and is also from Auburn? You guys ought to talk to each other. Mike Nepper, Ethan Winston is down the crawl just a little bit from where you posted. Ethan, Mike Nepper is just up above there. If you're both guitar interested and players, I know Mike is a wonderful player. Y'all ought to meet each other, and maybe already do. Maybe that's the thing. Dean, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Well, let me actually play this thing a little bit more for you. I'm not warmed up at all. I'm just going to kind of stumble through some stuff. Oh, I remember this one. Took a capo really nicely, too. Maybe we'll try that too. I ended up getting green capos, so the people didn't walk out with them. None of the picks that are here, none of the capos are original. They are several generations removed from capos that got left here, capos that departed, picks. It's its own ecosystem on this table here. Oh yeah. I remember this guitar doesn't get really thin when you capo it up like a lot of guitars do. It retains some of that beefy baritone sort of sound. The owner assures me, and of course he's right, that this is wenge wood with a Carpathian top. For all the world, it feels to me like an old Martin with Brazilian back and sides and an Adirondack top. That's what it feels like, and that's what it sounds like. It hits my brain in the same place. Hits my earballs in the same place. It's an old Martin, an old Brazilian Martin with a red spruce top. Sweetness itself. Here. There's the bass chugging along. The tubas, the sousaphones. Even the sopranos up there, even the mezzo sopranos have fundamental to them. It's not all ringy overtones. Moving up into the soprano zone, I always like to think of my guitar, whatever guitar I'm playing, as kind of a 6-person orchestra. And a little hint, just from me to you, not to get too pedagogical about it, or polysyllabic. You can kind of think of your guitar as a 6-person choir, especially for you singers, singer-songwriters and stuff. If you stay off the top string for the first verse or two and then bring it in, you'll have provided some of the variety that the ear is always listening for. One of the things I think that flips the little switch right in the middle of your brain that says, oh man, this gal is good, this guy is good. One of the things that does that is that person providing variety, doing things differently. But they probably don't point it out in any major way. They don't make faces or gesture with their bodies or hands. They just sort of add something in, and you get to hear it, and you get to sort of say to yourself, I caught that. That person added in something, and I caught it. Good for me. I'm going to give myself a little joy juice, a little squirt of dopamine. Why do you think they call it dopamine? Because it makes you feel good. And you detecting that stuff is kind of one of the things that sort of says, oh yeah, that this, or you being able to flip that switch rather in people's brains, kind of establishes an unspoken implicit contract between the two of you that, yeah, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to do, even though I'm just a guy with a guitar, a gal with a guitar, I'm going to provide the variety that you're accustomed to hearing. I'm going to provide the grow that you're accustomed to hearing on just about every band recording you ever heard. Starts off small, kind of gets big in the middle, sometimes gets smaller at the end, sometimes goes out big, oftentimes does the dinosaur, as a buddy of mine says, yeah, okay, this one's going to be a 1-4-5 in A, and let's just do the dinosaur. What that means is It's going to be a 1 chord, a 4 chord, and a 5 chord. It's going to be kind of a standard folk or blues or rock thing, nothing fancy, in which the 1 chord is where you start. That's where the story starts. The 4 chord, something happens and moves you away from what was happening at the 1 chord. And the 5 chord says, yeah, right, 4 chord, but don't worry, I'm going to take you back home. So you got a 1, 4, 5, and my buddy would say, and let's do the dinosaur. That means that the arc of the song is going to, just like in Monty Python, a dinosaur is small on one end, large in the middle, and small on the other end. That's kind of it. You're going to do an arc. And it's probably going to be, instead of the arc, the fattest part of the dinosaur, and this is not a meatitarian dinosaur. This is one of them brontosaurs or something. The widest part of the dinosaur, do you hear what I'm saying out loud? This is ridiculous. The widest part is going to be not right in the middle of the song, probably slightly right shifted, probably closer towards the end of the song, so that 2/3 of the way through, 3/4 of the way through is where the thing climaxes in whatever way it does. It peaks in intensity, in volume, in lyrical content perhaps, and then there's a little refractory period after that where you kind of come down to something perhaps not all the way back to where you started, but to someplace lower than that. And that is a way to structure almost any song, especially for singer-songwriters. And this is, of course, in true Coil fashion, I've phrased this in the longest way possible. If you leave off the top string, the high voice in your orchestra, the soprano in your orchestra, till you can deploy her in the song somewhere to great effect, that's a great way to go. What was I working on yesterday where this was happening? Steve Earle was playing Goodbye, a song involving the word goodbye. And the person I was giving lessons to, and yes, I do give lessons, thank you, give you lessons too, if you want. Steve Earle was staying off the top string, and it was great effect in Landslide, which I kind of start off a lot of people with. Highly effective. You've got a bed going along. It's kind of interesting at first, and you say, wow, that was kind of cool, kind of bubbly. You know, let's imagine you were a Martian, or you had never heard this song before somehow. You'd say, well, that was kind of bubbly and interesting, but what's going on in the implicit realms, somewhere underneath your conscious level perhaps, you'd be saying, that's interesting, I kind of like that, but that's not all, because that's just a bed. There's something going to be floating along on top here pretty soon. There's going to be something more intentional. Sure enough it is. It's the melody. It's the sung melody and the lyrics. So you get 2 big hits right there. Lindsey Buckingham, I almost said Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Buckingham deploys the high string only later. He does this. 5 3 4 2 5 3 4 2 5 3 4 2 5 3 4 2. He's playing the middle 4 strings for quite a long time. And then only in the little solo. All of that. He saves out the high string for later on. I guess he does sort of... But he saves it. The point is, he saves it. And that's a good thing to do. Good things. I always try to tell you about things that I think are good things. This is a Laurent Brondel. Let me read you the specs before I sink into my caffeine-induced stupor any farther. I have it right here. Here it is. The back and sides are wenge wood, and this is off the Mighty Fine Guitars website, mightyfineguitars.com. Here's the Brondel listing. Back and sides are wenge, an African hardwood. The top is Carpathian spruce, and it's wonderful. It looks a lot like Adirondack. The neck is African mahogany. The fingerboard is Gaboon ebony, another African wood. Binding is Ivoroid. The pickguard is celluloid nitrate. Tuners are Schertler, black chrome. And the pickup is a K&K. Oh, it has a pickup. I plumb forgot. And I even made a note on the website when I posted this, the early part of this year. The pickup is a K&K Pure Mini, which is an MFG fave. The K&K Pure Mini paired with a device that I love. If you got a pencil nearby and you haven't heard yet of the Tone Dexter, Joe Bob says check it out. And don't forget, Joe Bob is the man who says Joe Bob says check it out. It's a wonderful pickup booster. It does everything. It's a preamp. It's not a modeler. It does things that are different from modeling, But what you do is you train this device with your guitar, often with a K&K Pure Mini pickup, which is pretty darn good for this application. It's really, really good. Send it out into this little red box, the Tone Dexter, and plug a microphone, plug your favorite microphone into the Tone Dexter as well, and play so that the guitar feeds both the pickup and the microphone at the same time. The box will listen to both for a minute, and you'll see some little wheels spinning around, and then it'll stop, and it'll say, yeah, great. At that point, you unplug the microphone and put it away. You don't need it anymore, because now what's going to happen is every time you plug in your pickup and play through the Tone Dexter, you're going to hear the sound of your mic'd guitar coming out. Some folks say it's modeling. It's in essence, apparently, the mathematics is different enough that it's actually artificial intelligence. It's AI going on inside this box. And this brilliant guy who lives right nearby here, a pal of mine, put this all together. Brought one in one day and said, here, would you mind trying this out? Tell me what you think. I said, what does it do? He said, it makes your guitar sound acoustic instead of sounding like the pickup. Instead of the PA or your recording devices or whatever you're sending your pickup into, hearing a tiny little strip of the top of your beautiful guitar, it's hearing the whole face of the guitar, and it'll make your pickup sound like a mic. I said, oh man, you're such a good guy. I'll give it a try. And I thought, that's impossible. You can't do that. It does that. So another thing Joe Bob says to check out is the Tone Dexter. Wonderful guitar. It doesn't, and I noticed this I noticed this before with the capo, and I'm noticing it now with just bar chords up the neck. It doesn't thin out. It doesn't get that thin sound. It maintains the beef. It's almost got some Dreadnought vibe to it. How about that? Just because it can handle it without rattling, it's really fun to play it hard and really activate the top, but you don't need to. It's got plenty of volume and stuff. This is one of those guitars that always feel great to me, where to extract the sound out of it, you don't have to work really hard. Sometimes that's really rewarding. There's a threshold at which a guitar starts working and sounding great, and you kind of have to play intensity, and you have to play hard above that hard enough to get above that threshold. This guitar, even soft, played really, really delicately on the right hand. Sorry about that, was not nice. Well, there it is, kids. There's the Laurent Brondel, and I've nattered on long enough about this that I think I'll save the Tony Yamamoto, the early Talus, for next time. So tune in next Friday at, early afternoon, whatever that turns out to be. I'll probably move these things back to 12:45 or 1 o'clock, but if you hit the little notifications, get notifications button, you'll find out when I go live. And I'm doing Monday night shows. Not sure I'm going to keep the Thursday afternoon shows, but the Monday night shows I think I'm going to hang on to. So check me out Monday nights at 7:30 right here on the Facebooks, and Friday afternoons 12:45, 1 o'clock here for Mighty Fine Guitars. Thanks for tuning in. Let me check and see if there are any questions or comments that need attention right away. That tune, by the way, is by Roy Bookbinder. It's called Another Man Done a Full Go Round, and it's the catchiest thing. I hope I've left you with a nice earworm. Come on now, Bessie. Yeah, Mark Baranki, the stuff is going up on YouTube bit by bit. It's on YouTube as well. Check out the Mighty Fine Guitars channel over there. I haven't updated it in quite a while, but there's lots and lots of these videos up there. There sure are. Ooh, lordy. And for some reason, I'm having a little trouble getting to your comments here. Laurent Brondel. Yes, Laurent, Laurent, capital L, small a, small u, small r, etc. Brondel, capital Brondel. Laurent Brondel. The asking on that guitar was $5,500 until today. It went to $5,000, and like I say, there might be some flex in that as well. So let's talk. Sleep well, Darby Sue. Say goodnight to himself as well. All right? Good. And yeah, very good, Kathy Kramer. Very good. Nice to see you too. Glad you enjoyed that. Greetings, Bruce Kaplan. Bruce and Claudia. Bruce and his wife Claudia do a wonderful show on Friday evenings at 5. Fridays at 5. Bruce Kaplan, capital Kaplan, and Claudia Russell are a duo in life and in music, and they're quite wonderful. Tune them in. I'm going to tune them in this afternoon at 5 o'clock. This afternoon sometime, oh, doggone it, you know what? Bruce and Claudia, I think Bill Kirchin's got a show on at 5 o'clock this afternoon as well. Maybe I'll double screen you, because I have multiple devices, as don't we all. You can watch Bruce and Claudia on one side and watch Bill Kirchin on the other. Now, you'll have to hit Bill Kirchin's page, and because this is not going to be a Facebook show, Bruce and Claudia's show is right here on Facebook, easy to get to. Bill Kirchin's is inaugurating a new event, a new kind of online event out of Austin, and it's going to be him telling the history and some of the cool inside stories about the song that he made famous, Hot Rod Lincoln, with Commander Cody and the Lost Planet Airmen. So all of that is happening at 5 o'clock Pacific time this afternoon. And for some reason, Facebook is being very stingy with notes today. And that's all I can see. I can't see anything that was written before, 10 minutes ago. And I nattered on at length. So, all right, kids. Well, there it is. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Stevie Coyle. The shop is Mighty Fine Guitars. We've all got .coms. I'm a big .commie. You got steviecoyle.com, mightyfineguitars.com, thequitters.com, quittersduo.com. I think that'll do it for now. And you can find all of us here on Facebook as well. I'll hope to see you on Monday night at 7:30 for a little concert from my secret island lair. Whew, man. Night, folks.